Welcome back to a brand new episode of Charm City Beat. What a weekend. What a fucking weekend. Ravens lose 17-10 against the Steelers. Let's talk about it. What the
Hmm.
fuck happened?
It
What
it
the fuck
started off
happened?
so well. Like I thought we were gonna win this game by a bunch of points. We could just ride into game two of the Oriole game, and then it was just like e-break. We're going to become the old Ravens that we used to know. And my God, was that the ugliest second half of football I've seen maybe in my life? Jesus Christ! Against that opponent, come on, unbelievable.
Uh, it was just absolutely atrocious. I mean, of course, you got the drop passes, bad reads. Pittsburgh defense couldn't, offense couldn't have been worse. I, I don't know, man. Like, what the hell happened? It literally looked like 2022 out there. Like, just dumb mistakes all over the place.
To me, it's on Harbaugh. Like I don't understand. Like the miscue at the end of the half with the field goal and then not running it 3 plays at the end of the game, and all you need is a field goal to make it a touchdown game. Like, why even? It's just like the little things that the team is doing wrong. It's cut comes down to coaching. Like the players aren't making plays, sure, but also you had a chance to put them away just by playing normal football, and they just didn't do it. I mean, they
Yeah,
wasted the opportunity to kick two field goals. They lost by 4 points, whatever.
yeah, like,
Yeah, yeah. Apparently, Linderbaum put that on him. The last play, they basically, from what everyone was thinking, even though it was only 15 seconds, they didn't want to give Pittsburgh any time.
yeah,
And Lindenberg thought, hey, he's offsides. Lamarkin has a chance to chuck this up. Worst case scenario, hey, they call a penalty. If you remember, even the announcers said, looked like he got an early start, but I guess the refs felt he had a right timing. So it they even said even you saw Lamar was like, oh snap, I got the ball because he literally just motioned a guy away from T.J. Watt who
mm-hmm.
was running at him.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
But like just like everything though, we shouldn't have been there. We should have run up 14-0. Mark Andrews and Bateman Drew drops in the end zone.
Yeah. I mean,
Huh?
absolutely atrocious. And despite the drops, because again, these drops happen. See players drop balls all over.
Not for us this year. They haven't. We had 7 yesterday. We had 5 all year.
Yeah. I mean, Zay looked out of character. I mean, and again, it's a big stage game for him. You know, his
Great time
first
to look
Steelers
like a
game.
rookie.
He looked shook. He looked like a rookie. Yeah. He looked straight like a rookie. And that's okay for him because he is a rookie. But Bateman, Nelson Aguilar, OBJ with one catch and getting injured and out. Mark Andrews, are you kidding me? Bro, what the fuck?
Yeah, 3.
No,
And
three. Five.
even then, I thought we moved the ball well enough to win that football game. The Steelers clearly weren't. Like at no point in that game did I think they were going to score a touchdown until they got one at the end of the game.
Mm-hmm.
Outside that, I was like, and that was like almost like a weird play. Like it took them the entire football game to get into the end zone. The fact that that's all it took to win the fucking football game is just annoying to me because we were up by double digits early and then we just squandered it because our offense just went into a shell of itself, and it's just, ugh.
Yeah, it's utterly frustrating. It really is. I do want to go back to that one drive, and again, depending on where you go on social media, you'll see different camps. Oh, it's the receivers. Oh, it's the quarterback. Oh, it's the coaching. This, that, and the other. Let me tell you something. Football is a sport of 11 different fucking pieces having to work together to make one good play happen. So if a couple of pieces don't go right, well, that's shit. That's on everybody. And again, bad play calling in that 5 yard line. You're in the 5 yard line. Did no one watch the Seahawks versus Patriots Super Bowl where we don't run within the goal line with that close? You just don't do it. It's interception central. That's just facts, statistic facts. And again, a horrible read. I don't understand how you're the most elusive quarterback in the NFL. You don't check that play and you run an option or run up the middle. I don't understand how we're not using legs at that point. Or Gus Edwards. Gus Edwards ran one play when we were down at the 5 yard line, and then he's out. I saw him running off the field. I'm like, what are you doing? We need him. He's the biggest running back we have. Let him run straight if possible. Or Pat Ricard, Ross's favorite player. I just don't understand.
And where's Lamar's legs? Like the whole game, like the difference I feel like between the two teams was Lamar Jackson's ability to run because third downs were manageable and second downs were runs, and then you get to the red zone where to date they were the best team in football because of the opportunity, the ability to spread the field, and then Lamar can run it. And where was that? It felt like very Greg Roman tossing it to Mark Andrews. Like, what is that? Like
Why?
on second down and like goal, like just run it. Just keep. You just had a 5 yard run with Gus Edwards. Why are you suddenly getting all fancy against a defense that clearly hasn't really stopped you all football game?
Yeah, like who's
That was
calling
the
that?
ball
Now you're
game, and
trying
you
to be
screwed up.
cute like the Chiefs. Like, no, we're not the Chiefs. We don't do shit like that. We don't have to. I don't get it.
Why the throw? Like I don't like you're winning the football game. You know that a field goal puts
Mhm.
you ahead just enough that you have to force Kenny Pickett to go the distance, and the Ravens defense knows that, so they're not stuck in between trying to keep him out of field goal range. They can just keep you out of the end zone, which is a whole different mindset as a defender. And instead, you throw the ball where OBJ will never had a chance at it.
Yeah.
Tremendous play with the Pittsburgh Steelers, but it was like Lamar's that for sure is on Lamar Jackson. There's no reason to do that. Just throw it out of bounds next time. Justin Tucker, you're wasting the greatest kicker on the planet every single week.
Every week. Again, get points. Again, I'm not a $1 million coach in the NFL. I'm just a washed up player from many years ago and a big fan. But logic just tells me you have the greatest kicker in the NFL who has kicked. I think he has the record for the longest kick, right? So you know he can kick anywhere on the fucking field. Just do it. I don't understand. It's the Steelers. Their offense is shit. We could keep kicking field goals against them, and we would have still beat them.
Yeah, this team legitimately should be 5-0. And
Easy.
I agree the opponents haven't been that great. All the quarterbacks have been hurt. There's so many excuses as to why they should have won all those games, but at the end of the day, they should be 5-0, and they're going to look back on, and they probably still win the division because the rest of the division legitimately is garbage. Like the Steelers will probably go ahead and lose next week to like the Texans or something, but like they already lost them by 30. Sorry, never mind. But like, so like that's the point. It's like the Ravens don't need to do much to even get into the playoffs, and they're doing everything they can to not get in. And it's the most frustrating thing I've ever seen.
Yeah. Oh man, there was one play specifically I want to talk about. Now Marlon Humphrey's back. Love to see him. Glad to see 4-4 on the field. Why is there no help against Kenny? Not Kenny, freaking Pickens. I don't understand how he doesn't have any safety assistance on a deep route like that. You could even tell that Marlon is still just trying to get up to speed, and that's okay. But help the guy out.
Yeah, yeah. The defense was all. I mean, that was a mistake in an otherwise pretty great game defensively.
Mm-hmm.
But I feel like the Ravens aren't getting the turnovers they need to win these football games. And it shouldn't be all on them, but it seems to be.
Yeah.
But again, to your point, like they're breaking down at the worst moments. And that was a big culprit last year. This time, I remember.
They were forced to be on the field too long. They were stopping them, but still they had four. They gave up 4 straight plays of 8 drives
Yeah.
because we've scored a total of 11 points in our second half of the last 3 games. Granted, one was against the Browns. We didn't need to score, but 2 of them were our losses where we needed to score in the second half. We scored nothing.
Not a thing.
We had the ball at what, the 5 after a fumble punt.
It's just
The defense could only do so much.
Yeah,
they kept stopping them, but they had long drives. And then, from what I was reading, a lot of people noticed Marcus Williams was out there running around basically with one arm.
Yeah. Yeah. And now we go into we go into London, which is a whole other animal in itself. To play a pretty physical Tennessee Titans team. And that's another offense that, like the Steelers, like the Browns, like the Colts, like the beat up Bengals, like the Texans, there's not a lot there. But for some reason, they're probably going to make the Ravens look not good. Like, I feel like we're going to make the Titans look good. And I'm already afraid of what might happen in this game. And the fact that it's in London, it's a wild card to me. Like it's not. It's a weird
You
game.
just
It's
don't know. It's not a home or an away game. Yeah. I mean,
across the
it's
pond
totally
and
away.
focus. Ugh.
One thing I noticed a couple of times, and again, I know the defense did the best they could, but against the run, we didn't look awesome. Steelers had a new running back out there. Can't remember his name right now, but he looked way too good against a defense that awesome. So I think, again, you're facing Derrick Henry next week, and obviously we'll probably talk about it later this week. But again, you're facing a running back like Derrick Henry who even passes the fucking ball. Like you can't play that way. There's no
And you
way.
know it's coming.
You
That's what
know it
makes Derrick
is.
Henry so frustrating. It's like
I still
it's
remember
just
that
like
playoff game. Fuck, man. I still remember it. He launched. Who the hell was it that got like stiff armed into space?
That was Earl Thomas.
Yeah, Earl Thomas.
Earl Thomas.
Holy
what was
shit.
that
Earl
game?
Thomas
My
was
God.
his blocker at one point. Because he said, "I'm not afraid to tackle him." That's because you're his blocker.
That was nuts.
That was a horrible game. God, I hate that I was there for it.
Why are we so bad in playoffs? Fuck.
I
What is with this
coaching?
city?
I don't know. So fucking gassed.
We just can't handle bye weeks.
No, and apparently, and we're going to get to it in the other episode, which there's a link in the bio for it. Baltimore in general just doesn't handle bye weeks at all. Across the fucking board, like we just don't handle bye weeks. Oh my god.
Here's a question for you guys. Do you think the Ravens made a mistake not taking their bye after the London game because they had that opportunity and they punted it to later in the year? They're going back to face an upstart Lions team at home, and I know it's Terrell Suggs Day and everything. But if we lose in London and then we come back and we're, what's the word? Like we're on London time and we haven't had tea in two
Jet
days
lagged
and
and
this and that
everything.
jet lag, and we're playing a Lions team that's like fired up. Are you kidding me? Like we
It's a
could lose that
recipe for
game.
disaster.
We have four. Like what the fudge?
That's a scary position to be. Again, I honestly think the bye week should have been the number one thing y'all should have did after London. I don't understand that. I don't understand the logic behind it. I don't understand the reasoning, but
I think the reason behind it is because they want to have a chance to be healthy later on. How many times have we come down here where we had a bye week early, and next thing you know, oh crap, we're playing 12 games in a row here.
How often do we fly across the fucking ocean?
I get that, but no one knows how to deal with it. It's
Wouldn't be as upset if we didn't drop the game against Steelers because now we're
Yes.
3-2 instead of 4-1, and the London game is suddenly a must win. And if we lose that game, Detroit, that's like you're looking at like you're on like life support a little bit. 'Cause I think the Bengals are going to start losing. The Bengals went off on Sunday. Jamar Chase had like 70 fantasy points, and I feel like they're not going to lose anymore. It looks like Burrow's healthy,
Yeah, I
and to
think
me, that's a scary thought that we gave them. We have the head start we needed, and we're giving it back to them, like dropping these winnable games on the road. We're not getting them back. It's horrible.
it's a tough place to be right now. Very tough place. They are overseas right now. They fled the country, rightfully so. Got out of Dodge.
bailed. Like, we're out of here.
Yeah, fuck it. We're gone. We're gone.
Tally ho!
Oh my god. Yeah, I don't know. That was just a rough game. Number one, I remember actually some weird shit happened during the game. Apparently during Ravens Steelers game, it's mostly usually cloudy or just shitty conditions. Apparently it was like a
bright
sunny
as
day in
hell.
Pittsburgh. Like it was a recipe for disaster right out the gates. I mean, we should have won. We made a lot of dumbass mistakes. No question about it. Again, I know most of the internet is either one side or another. Most are blaming Lamar, and I get it. He's the face of the franchise. He is the quarterback, and some of those mistakes that happen are not easy to ignore.
He should not have been in that spot.
He
has an all-pro
but you are the
left
quarterback.
tackle who chooses not to practice on Fridays. If you looked at that last fumble, he was ready to throw the ball. Why? How can he protect the ball when he's like, I got a guy open. I got an all-pro left tackle behind me who chooses not to practice on Fridays all the time. Why is he not getting help blocking with Ricard?
Yeah,
Lamar was about to throw. We don't know where that ball was going. His
I didn't
interception.
mind
He
that
said
play as much.
Yeah.
Like that's the one.
he,
That's the one mistake. I was like, that's fine. That's the game.
you're right. The interception was dumb, but I saw something. He was 22 for 38 for 236 yards, no touchdowns.
You 22
Add
for
those
what?
drops that he should not have had. 29 for 38 with 355 yards and 2 touchdowns, a 70-something percent. He is the second highest rated PFF player in this week. And he had 7 drops.
Yeah.
What is Aguilar doing? He's like, I don't want to catch this.
I don't know.
That's
Bateman cries all the time. You need to pay your guys, respect your guys. I'm gonna flail in the end zone and not catch the ball.
My Philly friends warned me about Nelson Aguilar. My Eagles friends.
But see that fine, that's expected from him because that's what he
Camera's
does.
shaking.
Bateman's like, hey, look at my fingernails. I'm not gonna catch the ball. Then he drops it. The other one he almost dropped it. He gets like he's hurt after the words.
Yeah. I don't know.
Aguilar and Sam, the only ones that have excuses.
I love it. God.
I mean, yeah, get it out. Get it
out. This is what we're here for. This is our therapy session, right? Here.
This is it. I mean,
and of course. So remember week 1 with the Chiefs, all his drops. Oh, he had some good plays. He had good. All of a sudden, we have all drops. Did we pay him too much?
I don't know.
That's just been the Lamar narrative since he got here, and it's never going to go away. Unfortunately, he could win a Super Bowl, and it's not going to go away. And it's unfortunate that poor man's got to deal with that nonsense. But this is what it is. It sucks when our own fan base is doing it because he puts the team on his back every fucking week because everyone fails him repeatedly. The coaches fail him, the receivers fail him, running backs can't stay healthy, O-line can't stay healthy, defense gives up fucking back-breaking plays. And it's like Lamar's got to go the distance again. God damn it.
Yeah, I mean, how many times have we seen him just take again? We've seen him take the game into his own hands and win it for us more times than I can count over the last 5 years.
Yeah,
more times than I can count. He has taken the team on his back and made things happen. Shit, even in his first season when it was virtually like Navy's offense just running all the time, it was mainly him.
He went 7-1 down the stretch. Playoff berth. Flacco couldn't get us in the playoffs, save his life the last 5 years.
That's what's so frustrating, I think, for me personally, when I look at Lamar's gameplay. Yes, he did great for what he did. There was a lot of drops. You can say whatever. I'm just surprised that the most elusive football player, probably in NFL history, next, I even say better than Michael Vick, to be honest with you.
Yeah.
I don't understand how he didn't get an opportunity to take over that game yesterday. It was there. Again, I get it. TJ Watt is the scariest fucking player I've ever seen in my life. Again, TJ Watt is literally, and I will say it again, one of the best, if not the best edge rusher in the NFL. And he was up in Lamar's grill all day. That's O-line. O-line's got to do better. That can't happen.
Yeah.
Again, luckily,
McCarry got hurt, I think, which does not help.
Yeah.
But I think it's not. It sucks that if Lamar doesn't go Superman, then we're not going to win.
Yeah.
Because I feel like we lost J.K. Dobbins. That's a huge loss. The running backs are good, but they're not game breakers.
Yeah.
That's unfortunate. The receivers need to bail them out. Like, it can't just be all Zay Flowers and Mark Andrews all the time. Like, they got to step up. Like Bateman has to step up. Bateman needs to become him, and he hasn't yet.
Yeah. And again, in an offense where, again, we do have a Zay Flowers who could be a potential Antonio Brown minus CTE. He needs room to fail. He needs room to grow. And when you don't have other receivers doing what the fuck they're supposed to be doing, he's not going to get that room. He's not going to get that luxury to grow. And that's what's frustrating the most, because Zay has incredible talent, but I don't know. Speaking of Bateman, the hell? So he denies the press conference after the game, which, again, nobody wants to do a press conference after a loss, but you're paid to do it. And then he deletes his Twitter. Can we just trade the guy yet?
He's the most dramatic. We talked about trading Duvernay. Anything in my life. Yeah, I mean, like he got hurt 2 years in a row, so he's never actually produced on football field. Yeah. He talks a whole lot of shit for somebody that's never really done anything. And it's not the Ravens' fault he keeps getting hurt. I don't think it's like, last year he got fell on. I don't know what his deal was this year. And then, like, he dropped fucking touchdowns in the end zone, and he came out of Minnesota like a sure-handed dude. Like, and now you delete his Twitter. Why? We're not.
Yeah.
Okay. You're gonna lose playing time to Aguilar. Congratulations.
Yeah, cool, whatever. Like I don't get it. Again, you're not the number one receiver. I mean, you should be the number one
Yeah.
receiver, but you aren't the number one receiver to act this way. This is shocking to me. It shows his immaturity, honestly, in my opinion. Again, I get people going offline. Again, Marlon does it. He goes off Twitter. Other players do get off of Twitter, but no one, and after the worst game of probably their career, just deletes it and runs away like a little bitch. Nobody does that. That's weird.
Yeah. Yeah.
But any last words on this before we close the door and move on overseas to London? Ross.
Oh.
Up with our special teams this year.
Hmm?
Yes. I'm not even just my favorite Duvernay player who mind you, what has he done returning recently? Oh, he has 10 attempts for 107 yards returning punts. If he's not, can we try someone else back there? I've even saw recently more again on Twitter. People saying, is there anyone more explosive? He doesn't look like he has it. Also, catching wise, he has 2 catches for 8 yards, and that includes at least 2 games without Odell and 1.5 games without Bateman. What's he doing here?
I could ask that about like half the team after yesterday.
I get that, but it was like he could be our Debo. He has 5 runs for 15 yards. He even looked sketchy when he did that.
He hasn't.
And now we're having punts blocked.
I saw Debo.
We were already low. We were already low in the rankings in punt coverage.
Yeah.
Tucker's the only bright spot on our special teams. He's booting the ball in the back of the end zone.
But even then, like he's missed 3 field goals, I think. And some of them, they're all long field goals, but they're field goals that you expect him to miss.
He's getting
no
stuck
longer
in
hitting
long
58
field goals
yarders.
again.
He's not hitting 57 yarders anymore. And that's an issue for me. Stout's doing well punting for the most part. We can't fucking defend kick returns anymore. We've given up a punt return. We got a punt blocked in the back of the goddamn end zone. Like special teams coach needs to be fired, I think, and I'll say it right now because that is failing around the board, like across the board. You cannot trust any of that unit except maybe Jordan Stout, who's had some terrific punts, but I don't know. It's not a good look, and it's not. That used to be a staple of a John Harbaugh team. Special teams, you knew you were getting good special teams, elite special teams, Pro Bowlers.
And
I think some of their cuts,
we had the one play this week, but
they chose to cut guys.
If you looked at the fumble this week, it was a Steeler play that ran into his own guy.
Yeah, that wasn't. Yeah, I mean that's.
It just landed in Seymour's hands. Like, oh, thanks.
And did we score a touchdown after that? No, we did not.
Nope.
No, we did not. And then it's fuck. It's not good. They chose to cut guys that were tremendous special teamers. They got rid of Levine, those kind of guys, and then you turn around and you wonder why your special teams isn't doing well.
Yeah,
this is why. I mean, it's across the board.
Levine retire and come work for us.
They're getting cheaper on the edge and stuff, and it's just like,
yeah,
you're losing football games because of special teams on a weekly basis now.
Yeah, it's again for the last Jesus Christ, like almost 30 years, the Ravens have been known for special teams through Harbaugh and Billick.
Yes.
Special teams and defense. Offense has always been shady for, well, not most of the time. I think it's gotten better. We've had spurts, but consistently defense and special teams have always been reliable. So and again, a special team head coach doesn't make sense. Doesn't make sense at all. I'm confused.
He is a long last thing to talk about. I feel like Harbaugh is playing his way out of Baltimore. Like when the team is failing to just do X's and O's correctly, players dropping passes is one thing, but like literally like miscommunication, not clock management is god awful. Special teams is god awful. They're clearly not playing. They're playing down to opponents. They're losing to teams with backup quarterbacks. This is across the board. Like these are signs that are not good. And him and Belichick, I think their runs are done. It's what it is.
I mean, let's be honest here, because we can even, again, Mike Tomlin got the win, but he's in that group as well. I think that generation coaching is. I think they're being outplayed. I'm gonna be real
Reminds
honest.
me of Buck Showalter a little bit.
Yeah, 100.
Like the
percent
game is passing them by. They were great for what they were,
Yep.
and now the game has evolved, and you got to bring in college coaches, I think, because they're playing old man football, and you're losing the teams. Andy Reid's adapted. I don't think
Anybody
any
else on the
other
Shanahan tree?
veteran coach has really adapted, and that's as much Andy Reid as it is having Patrick Mahomes and Travis Kelce
Yeah,
and Tyreek Hill. I'll say it.
yeah.
He's not doing that with fucking the quarterback in like New York.
No, no, shit. Fuck. Which quarterback? Because they both suck right now. Danny Dimes and Zach Wilson.
Lamar is making Harbaugh look good, and it's not the other way around. Like if anything, they're holding Lamar back, holding him back for half a decade now.
Yeah, we've wasted a good 5 years. Just, I don't get it. I don't get it. I wish somebody would make sense of it because it's so baffling to me that it's as clear as day. You look at the Chiefs, just look how they ran. You know, they have skill set, but then you go across. I mean, look at Seattle. I mean, with he's doing great. The biggest example is, and again, Sunday Night Football, because I got to watch Debo Samuel play. I got to watch Brock Purdy last
We
pick
have
in
those
the
guys on this
NFL.
team too.
Huh?
We have guys like that on our team. We're just not utilizing them.
Yeah. Again, it makes no sense. We have the skill set to be like Miami, to be like the 49ers. Again, what Miami's doing down there with Mike McDaniel is incredible.
Yeah.
Incredible. And again, I'm still not convinced he's not Logic. He definitely looks like Logic. Definitely probably is, but that's besides the case. I don't know. I wish we were better. I wish that we could make some change. Hopefully we do, but history shows it's probably not going to fucking happen. Hopefully we squeak into the playoffs at this point. Again, I know 4 weeks into the season, we're all Mayday, but no, there's good reason for it based on what we've seen the last few weeks. It's not unwarranted. But nonetheless, we're heading to England, take on the Titans. Hopefully things will go better.
Dun, 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 dun.
We will see, but don't forget to like and subscribe. We're also going to talk about the Orioles, so be prepared for that video. Link should be in the bio or somewhere on the screen. Yeah, don't forget to like and subscribe. Take care.